What's up guys, Moses here, and I finally got the time around to do the review for my new ESP USA M7. Just to give you a bit of a close-up on that. So how I usually do these reviews is that I talk about the specs in the beginning, then I demonstrate what kind of sounds I got from the guitar, rhythm, lead, some cleans, and I also did some coil split action because this also has a push-pull knob which splits the coils, and it does it really well. A lot of guitars kind of, are hit or miss in my opinion when it does that. Maybe the single coil tone is a little thin, but this one's really good. I'll talk about that more later. Before I even talk about the specs, I want to show you the spec sheet. So when you get a USA guitar, you get something like this, an envelope. Just giving you a bit of a close-up. Now inside it is the spec sheet. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, and the certificate of authenticity. So first, again, the spec sheet. Give you a bit of a close-up on that. I will also read this accordingly. Alright, so we have the main color of this guitar or finish is teal marble. I don't get the best lighting here, so I'm trying to figure that out. So I apologize if the guitar's finish isn't showing up too well, but it's absolutely incredible. There's swirls on the guitar. That's also an option that they give in their configuration website, but this is a one-off model that they don't do often, where it's two colors in one. Maybe during the other parts of the video you might be able to capture that greenish and bluish type of color. The main primary color of this happens to be teal, but it also goes into this green that's subtle. It just depends on the lighting, but it's absolutely fantastic. It reminds me of the painting by Vincent van Gogh, Starry Night. It looks absolutely fantastic. I apologize again, not the best of lighting here. So we have a mahogany body. I'm going to turn this around so you could get a better close-up. We have a 45mm body thickness. The body binding is natural masked, so you do get a bit of that natural binding from the wood on the guitar that goes all around. The body is a gloss finish, bolt-on neck construction. Now we're going to be talking about the neck. We have a three-piece maple neck, maple fingerboard. What I really like about this maple is that it's not a McDonald's yellow that you see on a lot of guitars from different companies. This is a nice natural maple that I enjoy a lot. And it's very nice to look at. It's not like a super bright yellow. It's almost like a, I don't know. It's obviously not white, but it's very like light, which I really like on maple fretboards. We have a 48mm nut width. We have a locking nut for the Floyd Rose, of course. Then we have an extra thin U neck. This is probably my favorite part of the guitar. This is really easy to play. I wouldn't say it's like an Ibanez J Custom, because I own one and I'm trying to compare it to this. It's similar, but it's not as flat or wide. This is more, I say, maybe a little, like, I wouldn't say smaller, but it's just not so wide and flat. It's just a little bit thicker, but it's super good and super easy to play. It's very fast, and the satin finish of this is fantastic. Like, it's so easy just to go up and down this fretboard, and the neck so smooth. Very good neck. We have so with this neck, it's a little thicker up here and it flattens out, similar to a Jackson compound radius neck. So what we have here is a 19 millimeter and it flattens down to a 21 millimeter. So, you know, that's actually pretty flat for ESP. Usually they do like 12 millimeter necks and so forth to 16, but this is a pretty flat neck. Alright, now we have 24 extra jumbo stainless steel Jescar frets. You know, I'll give it this to the USA, is that they include stainless steel frets. I mean, whether or not they are stainless frets, I learned to accept, you know, whatever. I still think high-end guitars should have these type of qualities, but if they're Jescar or a high-quality fret wire, you're good to go. You shouldn't be wearing too much. You know, I'm not too picky when it comes to this type of stuff, but when it comes to a guitar like this, I personally think, maybe a lot of you would agree, that the truss wheel should be down here at the bottom and not at the top. I mean, that's just me. I feel like it's just more convenient than having to screw this off, than having to deal with putting the tool between these strings, and it's kind of annoying. But yeah, the truss rod, to access the truss rod, is up here on the neck. Alright, now let's talk about the hardware. We have an original Floyd Rose. So if you know how to set these up, you won't have any issues with tuning. Very stable. You can go pretty deep down, or you can pull up fairly high. This is a really good tremolo. One of my favorites, if not my favorite. We also have Spurzl locking tuners. These are pretty interesting. I'm used to just seeing the Gotos on my guitar, so these are actually pretty good. No issues at all. They stay in tune and they do their job. Pretty good. Alright, other than that, we have chrome hardware, tuners, the knobs, and then the bridge. Alright, now let's get on to the electronics. On the bridge pickup, we have a custom, Seymour Duncan custom, and on the neck we have I believe this is a Jazz, according to the spec sheet. Yeah, I'm usually used to having a 59 on the neck, but the custom on the bridge is very versatile. It's very high output, pretty clear, and it can cover a lot of ground. And then the Jazz on the neck is a classic pickup. It can really do pretty much what you want, whether you want like a silky smooth lead tone or something chimier on the clean side. This is a really good combo for pickups, especially when you start splitting them and using different positions of the pickup selector. Other than that, the last thing about the electronics is that we have a push-pull. This splits the coils, so if this is all the way engaged, we have the single here, and then middle selector would be these two single, and then on the neck this one by itself. Very versatile guitar. We have a standard 3-way toggle switch, master volume and master tone. Actually, master tone, master volume. There you go. So pretty standard, but with this push-pull, you can get like some really good Yngwie Malmsteen tones when you have a bit of distortion going on, and you get some really good bluesy tones when this is pulled as well. And the cleans are very chimey when it comes to using the push-pull. And yeah, other than that, that's pretty much it for the specs. Alright, so now I'm going to be talking about my overall impressions about the guitar, which are nothing but good things. I know in the past ESP USA was given a bit of a, let's see, not a bad name, but people just wouldn't compare them to the Japanese ESPs. They wouldn't say, well, they wouldn't say that they're just as good, or like they wouldn't say they're inferior. No, yeah. So now I'm going to be talking about my overall impressions about this guitar, which are nothing but good things. I know in the past a lot of people gave ESP USA, I wouldn't say a bad name, but they wouldn't put them in the same league as the Japanese stuff. but after owning a USA guitar, playing it, feeling it, I feel like they're just as good. They're just a little different. I feel like the material and the quality is pretty damn good, and I would say it's up there. I wouldn't say exactly like it because after owning a bunch of snappers, those guitars are, I don't know if I would say perfect because I kind of avoid saying that word, but let's just say perfect. This is just like 99.99% away from, that league. This is a fantastic instrument. It holds tuning very, very well, and it feels great to play. You feel the quality in this. I don't have anything bad to say. When I was really looking for any type of defects or imperfections, I couldn't find any. The fret job is fantastic. Upper fret axis is good. Tremolo stays in tune. The sound is fantastic. I have nothing bad to say about this guitar. Maybe the truss wheel location of it, but I'm just nitpicking at this point. But yeah, great guitar, and I finally own a USA after owning a whole bunch of the Japanese stuff. Other than that, I have one last thing to show you, which is the certificate of authenticity. Just to give you a bit of a close up on that. Very cool. This guitar was crafted last year in March, and yeah, it's a very, very, very cool guitar. If you guys have any questions about this guitar or anything in general, really, let me know in the comments. Also, let me know what you think about this guitar. What do you think about the USA stuff? Would you say it's just as good as the Japanese stuff, or still not there yet? It will be pretty interesting to talk about that type of topic down below. Alright, I hope you guys have a good weekend. Stay safe, and I'll see you next time.
Thank you.